Many of us have unresolved issues from the past that can lower our vibration and keep us out of the abundance zone. Tune in today to learn how you can tell if there are unhealed issues from the past impacting your life today without your conscious awareness. Welcome to the Abundance Zone, offering you tips and tools for supercharging your ability to attract more of what you desire into your life. Learn how to step into the Abundance Zone and stay there more consistently and watch your life transform. Hello, I'm Dr. Eve Delunas, and I want to welcome you to episode 34 of the Abundance Zone. If you are interested in receiving 2 free guided meditations and lots more information about raising your vibration and living in the abundance zone, sign up for my monthly newsletter at theabundancezone.net. Many of us are unaware of the myriad of ways that unresolved episodes from our past are impacting us in the present moment. What do I mean by unresolved? I mean events from our earlier years that still hold a negative emotional charge for us. In other words, bringing these scenes or situations to mind evokes strong, uncomfortable feelings like anger, guilt, shame, fear, sadness, hatred, feelings of being unloved or unwanted, helpless, hopeless, or powerless. It is human to wish to avoid feeling these kinds of painful emotions. So what most of us do is push them down, repress them, thus pretending to ourselves and others that they don't exist. The problem is that doing this doesn't limit their impact on us in the present. And in some cases, it even amplifies the effect the painful memory has on our current life. What are the ways our unhealed past may affect us in the present? First of all, anything unresolved remains a part of our energy field. This means that holding on to strong negative emotions from the past, even those you're not consciously aware of in the moment, is likely to lower your vibration and keep you out of the abundance zone. Again, you don't have to feel or even acknowledge those emotions for this to be the case. So even the guilt, shame, fear, hurt, anger, sadness, or hopelessness that you have pushed down still affects your vibration until you have made peace with the past event in question. Secondly, hold on to negative emotions long enough and they begin to create disease in the body. This is, of course, not the only cause of disease, but it is one major cause of disease. Thirdly, until we have removed the emotional charge from our painful or uncomfortable memories, we continue to attract situations in our current life that trigger the same unpleasant emotions. For example, never having dealt with the pain of being abandoned by her mother as a young child, Olivia continues to attract relationships with men who seem to love her and then leave her. Each time she is overwhelmed with the pain of feeling unlovable, betrayed, unworthy, and worthless, just as she felt when her mother disappeared from her life. Another example is George, who was badly beaten as a child by his alcoholic father. He still holds rage deep within for the abuse he suffered in his early years. As a consequence, George is quick to feel and express rage whenever he perceives someone is mistreating him. His short fuse has resulted in several arrests and a conviction for domestic assault. And still another example is Sarah, who never felt wanted or loved as the 7th child in her family. Her solution was to try to earn love by being the perfect child. In adulthood, Sarah goes overboard trying to be the perfect wife and mother in order to prove that she is worthy of love. But she feels unloved and unwanted no matter what her partner says or does. I could give you 100 examples of all of the variety of ways that we carry our unhealed childhood wounds into our adult life and attract situations in which we unconsciously repeat the same dramas with different players. In doing so, we feel the same unresolved emotions that we carry within from our past, and often as these emotions are triggered in the present, as with George, we feel out of control, and our reactions are greatly out of proportion to what would be expected in the present situation. Rather than annoyance, we feel furious. Rather than a little hurt, we feel devastated. Rather than confused, we feel frozen. Rather than a little anxious, we feel terrified. We also activate our distorted self-perceptions based upon early decisions we made during painful moments that we are bad, unlovable, defective, unworthy, or incapable, or that we are undeserving of loving kindness and to blame when people treat us badly. So, what can we do about our unresolved past? I am going to be offering solutions in the next week's podcast. I have also written a self-help book about how to heal unresolved issues from the past. The book is called New Science, New Brain, New You. And again, my name is Dr. Eve Delunas, Delunas. And I wrote the book because over the course of doing psychotherapy for 40 plus years, I encountered many people who were stuck in their lives, whose lives were being affected in the present by something unhealed from the past. And I discovered some methods that work extremely well to help people make peace with the past and live more joyfully and abundantly in the present. I wanted to share these methods with others because these methods are not well known, even by many therapists. Some do know about them and others do not. And they work so well and they work so quickly, these methods that I'm talking about, that I wanted to put the word out and give people the opportunity to work with themselves doing these processes. I call it New Science, New Brain, New You because I talk about how your brain responds to these events, how your subconscious is impacted by these events, and what to do in order to basically reprogram your subconscious brain, which is what you're doing when you make peace with the past. If you're interested in finding out more about this book, go to my website, theabundancezone.net, and click on book. It'll take you to a page telling you a lot more about the book, and then there's a link to Amazon.com if you're interested in purchasing the book. I also do private, individual, and group coaching sessions, and if you're interested in finding out more, there's also more information on my website, theabundancezone.net, about private sessions. All right, folks, have a beautiful week. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Abundance Zone podcast. Bye.